Hello, I'm Chris Williams from Read Comics, They're Bad For You on YouTube. Or if you're watching this on BitChute, Comic Freak. Today we're going to be talking about Marvel MCU news. We'll start off with the fact that Natalie Portman has been brought back into the MCU to play Lady Thor. Now, I've covered this before, or at least gone over it a bit, but I'm going to be covering not just this, but other things that have currently been happening with the new Thor movie. With Natalie Portman being brought back into the MCU because she played Jane Foster in the first Thor movie, so they had no other choice but to bring her back. At least Disney did. And the director, Taika Waititi, he even went so far as to say he was happy and was even proud that he announced in one of his Twitter rants that he liked a video where it announced that Natalie Portman was going to be playing Lady Thor, even though he had tweeted out the Mighty Thor. No, it's Lady Thor, and I'll just say that to annoy you, Taika Waititi. You see him here in his purple Hawaiian shirt. At least I think it's whatever, it doesn't matter. He just looks like the typical type who'd, tweet out this. I'm happy that I'm tweeting out that I actually liked a video. Ugh. And you see Natalie Portman here. In another video I used this picture. She doesn't look happy. She looks scared. Chris Hemsworth, as I said in that video, looked fine. But people have said he looked embarrassed or off about her being in the movie as Lady Thor. I can't blame him. Now, with her being Lady Thor, it just shows that they're just pushing more identity politics in a movie that doesn't need it. In the original Thor movies, I enjoyed them, but apparently a lot of people only marginally liked them. Thor Ragnarok apparently blew it out of the park, and now they want to go and try and do that again. But this time they're pushing Lady Thor on us. Natalie Portman, who was out of the MCU, was brought back because she played Jane Foster and they weren't willing to replace her. She's mainly back because her career has somewhat tanked in the last few years and she hopes to get back on track. I'm not so sure that's going to work, Natalie. And now that you're back in the MCU, this is probably going to be what you're going to be mainly remembered for. Congratulations. But you're probably not going to be remembered for that either because Lady Thor, it's a dead meme just waiting to happen. It'll just die and no one will like you for this. You should have just stayed out of the MCU and you should have been replaced. You could do far better. And what this is all doing to Chris Hemsworth and how he was great having him play Thor and how they kind of pooped on him in Endgame and turned him into Fat Thor. It just shows you that they'll do anything to push their identity politics, including giving us female Captain America. Now, I haven't gone much into this, but yeah, they want to push Peggy Carter's niece or granddaughter into the role of female Captain America, at least as I understand it. All of this really doesn't matter because this is only talk about what they're doing in the comics. But I'm only saying this because they're most definitely going to push this in the MCU in the not too distant future. I mean, they already put the Falcon as the new Captain America like they did in the comics. But they're pushing this female Captain America thing apparently very soon in the new issues of Captain America that's apparently been going downhill as of lately. So they decided to replace him with a female Captain America, as if that was a new idea. They keep replacing Steve Rogers with a different person to play Captain America every few years for a while. They did it with the Falcon, and they did it with the Winter Soldier, and now they're doing it with a female. And yes, it's supposed to be the cousin or granddaughter of Peggy Carter. But don't think they'll stop there. Disney will do anything to push their agenda and put it into these movies. Because in the comics, they replaced him with the Falcon. And now the Falcon is now Captain America. So I have no doubts they're going to do this soon. But I am amazed that they're pushing all this SJW propaganda so quickly into the movies. I mean, honestly, the movies were good up till Endgame. And I see the faults in Endgame the more I think about it. So just think that Infinity War is the end of the MCU. It's pretty much is, because they brought in time travel and pretty much broke all the rules to the movies they were making. Now they can just push in anything they want and even retcon it if they want in some way or another. Now, Peggy Carter originally appeared as Captain America in a what-if story about the Exiles. Basically, it's a team of interdimensional superheroes that were brought together. And Peggy Carter was from a reality where Peggy Carter was given the super soldier serum instead of Steve Rogers. So she became Captain America, and the whole series was just one woke joke and woke plotline after another. And it was terrible to read, and it ended. And I have to say I'm glad about that. But apparently no one's feelings matter, because it was proven in comic books it didn't work, so they're going to try pushing it in multi-million-dollar movies. Genius! Disney, you're genius! You're such geniuses, you're going to go broke. After you've gone woke. And let me rephrase that. You're going to go woke, and then you're going to go broke. Now we come up to the last part of this rant, where we talk about how Valkyrie is now king of Asgard, and now she's searching for her queen. And guess what? It's going to be Sif, otherwise Thor's girlfriend, who's apparently now a lesbian as well, even though she was in love with Thor. And she's now going to be queen of Asgard. And they're both going to be women, and one of them is still somehow going to be king and not a queen. They just want to push these gender roles in these movies because they want to break down the gender roles in America because they think it will somehow give them more power. This all has to do with Friedrich Nietzsche, who in his Superman or Overman philosophy was the fact that men should be more daring and do what they want. And the thing is, he hated, or at least disrespected, the way women are. He thought because of their emotional natures and the fact that they let those emotional natures dictate their actions, that they could never become supermen and never do as they will, because they'd always break down. Now, the response to this from women was, if we can't become superwomen, then we'll become men, become supermen. This is why these feminists push these gender-bending roles on society. They think if they become men, then they can do as they wish and do whatever they want. The thing is, though, that's not going to work. There are only two genders, men and women. Get used to it. You're only confusing children and making people's lives miserable. But this does explain why feminists and SJWs want to have Valkyrie become king of Asgard and Sif become her queen. Because they want to become Nietzsche's Superman, and they think this will allow them to do it and live with no remorse and no guilt. But this is the thing, you're only human, and humans only come in men and women, you stupid idiots. And this is why you have to push these people out of the comic book industry as well as out of the movie industry before they ruin everything. Because this is America, and communist ideals do not work. They've never worked. So get used to that fact and give up on them. What else can I say about this? It's the fact that they have Valkyrie being the king of Asgard. You couldn't have found any other character that would be better than her. Particularly, you could have Sif be the queen of Asgard, because she's more or less, well, basically she hasn't been in any of the Marvel movies in 6 years. But she is Thor's girlfriend. She should be queen of Asgard because, well, why not? I like her. Now, if you're wondering why I'm ending this video with a picture of that character from Mass Effect Andromeda, it's to say that SJWs were pushed into it, and they made all the characters redesigned as ugly. So get used to this. This could be the MCU with ugly characters. And we ain't going to allow that to happen. Now, if you like this video, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. If you're watching my videos but you have not subscribed, please subscribe to me on YouTube at Read Comics, They're Bad For You, and go over to BitChute and subscribe to Comic Freak. Hit that bell for notifications, hit that like button, and leave some comments down below. And keep checking back in future videos for more information on my own upcoming independent comic book, Scumdogs. I'm Chris Williams, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video or review.